The enjoyment of the Divine Comedy is a continuous process. T.S. Eliot declares in his 1929 monograph, Dante. If you get nothing out of it at first, you probably never will. But if from your first deciphering of it there comes now and then some direct shock of poetic intensity, nothing but laziness can deaden the desire for fuller and fuller knowledge. That Eliot had uttered a fine sentiment, all three of my authors would surely have agreed. They each felt that direct shock of poetic intensity while reading the comedy, and that experience indeed inspired in them the desire for fuller and fuller knowledge of the poem. Unsurprisingly, Sayers had her own, more colorful way of putting it. The trouble with Dante, she told her friend James Welch, the BBC's director of religious broadcasting, is that if one gets a taste for him, one is liable to become a Dante addict. She playfully continued, "He acts like a drug, or rather like an attack of rabies. The people who are bitten rush madly about, biting all their friends. Beware of him. If you once come under the spell, he will haunt your imagination, lay violent hands on your theology, intrude into your sermons, and seep through your most casual conversation like a dye." I cite Sayers's description of Dante mania, not only for its color. The date is also notable. She wrote these words in 1946, less than 2 years after she had come under Dante's spell at the age of 51. As I will discuss, there is every reason to believe she had made contact with Dante before, likely several times, but had not previously felt the shock of poetic intensity. The enjoyment of the comedy, Sayers's experience teaches us, may be a discontinuous process, or perhaps the continuous part, the seeping of Dante into one's bloodstream, may begin only after multiple exposures. The reading life is rarely so neat as the stories we like to tell about it. Therein lies the chief lesson of this chapter. Varied are the on-ramps, some longer and bumpier than others, to the way of Dante. The stories of how Sayers, Williams, and Lewis made Dante's acquaintance involve different timelines, contexts, and life stages. And those stories provide helpful framing for my trio's respective responses to Dante throughout this book. After examining the prehistories of their experiences with Dante before they met on the path in this chapter, I turn in the next chapter to their convergence on the way.